Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee.
Hello, everyone.
Shreem Brzee.
Welcome, everyone. This is a very special day. I hope you were able to watch Dr. Pillai. Not hearing anything. Oh dear. Can you hear me? I'm good. Okay. Dr. Pillai just was in a call on YouTube. I hope you didn't miss that, but you can go ahead and watch the recording if you missed it. It's about his birthday, and today is Makara Shankranti. Technically, it will start later in the day. Right now, it's about 2 p.m. in New York, so that would be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So please do the math and check your time zone. Why am I saying this? Because the sun enters into Capricorn, and in Vedic astrology, it's probably the #1 most auspicious day, except for maybe for the sun's entrance into Aries, which happens in April. And when the sun enters into Capricorn, you have a power time for all your goals, including wealth goals. And you know, we're here to build our finances, our wealth, and increase maybe revenue, income, higher paycheck if you're in a job, etc. So we're here to do this. So let's use this power time. You can take a small step, maybe later in the day, at 6:30, even though it's nighttime, you can still pray to the sun god. And if you don't know a mantra, no worries. You can always say, Sun God, bless me. Send me your blessings for highest intelligence, abundant wealth, and give me success in my career, in my work, in this project, and you can name it. You can also pray for your loved ones. So let's make this a very powerful time. Also, it's the special workshop, the Shreem Brzee workshop, the monthly. And I hope you've been manifesting lots of wonderful miracles in your finances and in your work. So Goddess Lakshmi, you know, gives you orientation. I just see the sun coming out from the... And orientation means new goals, new beginnings, and also maybe leave the project that didn't work, forget all about the project and start a new one, a more powerful one, a more successful one that will actually turn your life around and it will bring you wealth. So we're here to see the steps as taught by Dr. Pillai throughout the years, and he's told us how to manifest. And it's a very scientific way of doing this because our thoughts are constant. We have a chatterbox, right? The mind. So what do? We need to know how to use the mind, how to actually subdue the mind. So the higher consciousness, and the sun gives you the highest consciousness, is the soul in Vedic astrology. So it's very timely to talk about this. how we use the mind to get rid of all those, what Dr. Pillai calls stupid thoughts, and they are mostly stupid, let's face it. If you think your past, about past achievements that didn't go through, or goals you didn't reach, and all the things that have stopped you, it's very difficult to create something new. So we need to be very alert. But let's go through the steps, and we have a little presentation that will make things easier for you. So there are three main steps, right? First, you identify what's blocking you, mostly thoughts, mostly limited consciousness, which is what Dr. Pillai calls a sin. So the limited thinking is the biggest sin. So we clear all that. There's more about it, and I will explain. Then we will create actually what we want. And there is a way to accelerate. So to use short time, and everything changes. So it doesn't need to take 3 years or 30 years for some people, or 3 months. It can be much faster. All right, so let's go to the next slide, please. Yes, so step 1, clear. It's all about the mindset, right? We say that when we don't believe it. If we have an incredibly positive mindset, we can achieve anything. In 2023, one of my biggest goals, I reached it because even though everything seemed to be negative, I decided to have a very positive mindset. And to help myself with that, I used the mantra. And we have Shreem Brzee. And Brzee particularly removes the karma, the bad karma that brings bad thoughts, the limited thoughts, the sinful thoughts. The sinful thoughts like I'm small, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too young, I'm too thin. In the same time in my life, with the same weight, some people told me I was too thin, I should be careful. And some other people told me, oh, you used to be perfect, now you're fat. Literally with the same weight. So really, it's all about our perception. Nothing is real. It's only about the perception, what we see, that's what we'll get. So the mindset comes from your karma. Karma is thoughts. And prosperity thoughts come from removing karma, right? So the influencers of this mindset, multiple, but the basic ones are your genetics, because you're thinking your great-grandparents' thoughts, your mother's thoughts, your uncle John thoughts. I don't mean to insult anybody if you really have an uncle whose name is John, but sometimes these thoughts help. Maybe they were entrepreneurs and very successful, but maybe they have had some, I don't know, they had an anger problem, or they had some kind of phobia. So you don't need to think their thoughts, right? And that's a biggie one. So we have Tarpanam for that. But better for this group, this community, is to stay focused on Goddess Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi removes karma through the sound Brzee. It's not the goddess herself, but the sound is very powerful if you put it in the throat. If you close your eyes and put your attention on the throat and simply say Brzee, 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 those sounds will change your karma. So all of a sudden you'll have new thoughts, or at least those persistent thoughts that are sabotaging you will disappear. Also, it's your current life. Before all this, I'd like to add one thing I didn't have a chance to add, and that is the planets. Nothing happens on the Earth plane without the planets. I'm not sure about other galaxies or other planets in this galaxy. I'm not sure about that, and I'm sure that we're not alone, but that's my belief. And I believe that without the planets, or by invoking the planets, you can change your life, no matter what karma and birth chart you were given. And it's all about a commitment. So the planets are giving you all these thoughts. Some people have prosperity thoughts. Richard Branson left high school in the second year. Maybe he was like, what, 15, 16? And he dropped out of high school. Did that stop him from building 300 companies? Not at all. Not at all. In fact, he's one of the richest men alive. And we know that major entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs. They were very creative people. Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and you know all who these people are because we're using the iPhones and we're also, most of us are on Facebook. So they dropped out of college and it's all about the thought, the mindset. I know of a coach whose name is Tony Robbins. He now charges $1 million if you want to work with him. He was a janitor. So how did these people go ahead and created fantastic lives? Not with the negative thoughts that may come from the planets. So we can do something about the planets, acknowledge the planet of the day. Every day, like today, I was praying to the sun because it's Sunday. Being a Vedic astrologer, I know I am a little more alert about the planets, but anybody can do this. It's the sun, the day of the sun. Talk to the sun, ask for what you want. Maybe a better job and more success, a better relationship with your father. These are the topics, the themes with the sun. But before we started, I noticed it was Venus Hora, and I thought, how beautiful, perfect for Goddess Lakshmi. So I recited the mantra for Venus, and it's on the app, right? Astroved app has the mantra. So you don't need to learn them, just listen to them. So I let that play for some time because I was busy. And then now we are here talking about Goddess Lakshmi. It's a power time for Goddess Lakshmi because it's Venus Hora. Okay, so pay attention to the planets. Your space is super important. I always like to put flowers, at least one flower. I will have a fresh flower around, and I will offer to usually Dr. Pillai or maybe Goddess Lakshmi or Lalita Tripura Sundari. I have statues of them, these gods, these archetypes, and also very powerful beings who are all around us. Since December 30th, we are surrounded by ascended masters who have returned to the earth plane, like Agastya. And there are so many videos by Dr. Pillai. You can watch those free on YouTube. And there are even programs at Pillai Center that you may want to sign up for. And they're inexpensive because they're on demand. And also, so we have Kala Bhairava. Kala Bhairava is the god of time. And also we have all kinds of images of Shreem Brzee online, on the internet. If you have the statue, you're very lucky. You can also get one at Astroved. I think they're still around, or at Pillai Center, they may still have some. Okay, so your space, make it auspicious, beautiful. It doesn't need to be fancy. Just put a very uplifting, life-enhancing image. Like, okay, my family is used to this now, but I have pictures of every god. I have Kala Bhairava here. Also, okay, I don't need to show you that, but I always have a picture of Dr. Pillai if I don't have something else. I have this. I have other pictures I love to have around because they remind you of the being. In our case, our teacher. I have this. So make it special because that is influencing your mindset. If you're surrounded by clutter, no shaming anyone, because I'm very messy when I'm busy. And for example, I'm getting ready for something, for some work or a call with a student or client. Everything is around. Then I will go ahead and fix it, and clear the clutter. But so that's very important. And also company, the people you talk to all the time. If you're surrounded by negative people, and we all suffer, and we become super negative when we're suffering. I mean, I'm the first to realize that today I'm not thinking the right thoughts. But if we think positive thoughts, even in the face of all kinds of problems, everything will be easier. At the very least, you will feel better, right? Okay, so Brzee is your mantra again and again and again. Put it in your throat. Visualize a light if you want. Visualize Goddess Lakshmi or visualize Vishvamitra, the divine being who gave Dr. Pillai the sound Brzee with the mission of giving it to the entire world. but you're very special because you've received the teachings that go with this sound. So clear scarcity thinking with Brzee every day. It doesn't matter if it's the planets, if it's your ancestors, if it's your environment, if it's your roommate, if you live with someone else, or if it's your husband or your girlfriend or your wife. It doesn't really matter, because those thoughts don't need to be. They're thieves. They're thieves of wealth. They're thieves of peace. And we need to be very, very alert, especially now that the world is in turmoil. And there is a video in which Dr. Pillai is explaining all these changes in the world. All right, next slide, please. Step 2, create, be the goddess. Okay, when you say Shreem Brzee, you become Lakshmi. Lakshmi means wealth, means new directions, new ideas, new opportunities, and also a new mindset, in which you can have everything you want. How do you create? Through love, through positivity, through trust, through belief. Your beliefs are very important. So believe that the goddess is coming to you. You can visualize her, have pictures of her, create that way. So if you want a Rolls Royce, Dr. Pillai says, you will have it if you really, really love it. It will not come if you're like, that's not me. My family doesn't have nobody has ever had a Rolls Royce. It's weird. What will the neighbor say? It will not happen, most likely. So love that car, visualize it. And it's just an example. I mean, who cares about a Rolls Royce if that's not what you want? But it can be a beautiful home, and maybe an opportunity you've been looking forward to. It can be anything, just love it and send love to the person involved or to the environment involved. To me, that is a very powerful thing, but the mantra, the sound waves of Shreem Brzee, more powerful. And sometimes it takes just a few minutes of chanting to shift the mindset, that feeling, that love. So the more you love, the better. You know, the more you love and respect Dr. Pillai, to me, is like, that's a connection I have with my teachers, especially with Dr. Pillai, because I consider him my guru, which is a powerful word in English. It means the being who removes darkness, ignorance. So, of course, also planet Jupiter, the most generous and benevolent and fortunate planet, is called Guru. Right? So just love the goddess. Love. If you're not able to love Goddess Lakshmi, love another being, like maybe Lord Shiva, but typically Goddess Lakshmi is the one who gives you material wealth, but also spiritual wealth, because these gods are very, very powerful. They didn't get to that consciousness by being negative or being unspiritual, thinking 100% material thoughts. So it's really a perfect combination, the 200% life you want. Okay, hopefully this explains, but clarity also comes from Goddess Lakshmi. You can pray for clarity and say, please give me clear thoughts, give me abundant wealth through an abundant wealth consciousness, improve my consciousness, give me clarity. You can ask her for cleansing those limited thoughts, the sinful thoughts. All right. Also, the other step I forgot to mention, visualize, make it really beautiful. Your fantasies really matter. So make them as huge as you want. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to be realistic when you visualize what you like. And maybe if you visualize, a mountain of gold, then you'll get $100,000, right? Or euros or whatever that is. So it doesn't matter, but as long as you can visualize and feel you already have that abundance, have the abundance. Okay, let's go to the step for accelerating, because that's very important for us, especially now that we're talking so much about the God of Time. There are a lot of videos Dr. Pillai has made on YouTube about Kala Bhairava. So step 3, work with your group. You're doing that now, so don't underestimate just watching a video on YouTube, because you're with your special community with like-minded people, with those who understand what you're up to, what you're trying to do. It's okay if others don't understand, but at least your group will give you the support, even though you may not meet them in person. So stay with your group, participate in calls and the chanting that happens every Friday. And also I have a forecast, planetary forecast for Shreem Brzee, just for wealth, that it's on this month on the 28th. So try not to miss that. It's very powerful to know ahead of time how the planets will influence your life. These are celestial objects. They're already operating in your psyche, in your brain, in your body, in your cells and DNA, even though you may not be aware of it. And then rituals. Offering a petal, a flower petal to Goddess Lakshmi is very powerful. Sometimes I give fruits. I offer a pomegranate to Goddess Lakshmi or to Goddess Varahi, in my case, because I love her. So she's a form of Lakshmi. That's why I'm mentioning her. Okay, so offer a little something, a glass of water. Today I went outside and offered some water to the sun god, to the sun. Even though you may not believe he's a god, well, he represents the soul, his pure light, highest consciousness. So offer some flowers, offer to Goddess Lakshmi, offer some water, offer an incense. These are very simple steps, but they create a whole vortex of possibility, of very, very positive wealth consciousness. Use the power times, Fridays, also the Venus Hora. Those are very, very powerful. Of course, when Venus moves to a favorable sign like Pisces, Taurus, or Libra, that's even better. But Venus will later this winter will enter Capricorn. That's also a powerful place for your goals. Right now, Venus is still in Scorpio, will move to Sagittarius. When Venus enters Capricorn, I don't have the date right now, but I will speak about it maybe on the 28th. And that is a power time for the goddess because your material goals will manifest. Okay, power objects, I've already talked about that. Have the statues, download the images. It's very inexpensive to download an image, print it on your computer, on your printer, have it laminated. You can go to Office Depot. I'm not affiliated with these businesses, but like typically Office Depot or I kind of forget right now, but anyway, anywhere you can laminate a picture. Some people have actually the materials at home if they're artists. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I wanted this to be a fairly short call to make it simpler. And so now we are open to your questions if you need to clarify something. Remember, clarity is one of the 3 important steps. Achieving that clarity, knowing where you want to go, how to get there. Chris Bone. So Shreem Brzee is not only for money. Yes, right? Yes, in fact, some people whose relationship house in their birth chart have Venus. Say, for example, their 7th house, which is the house of relationship, is Taurus, or if it's a Libra. Yes, so the archetype of their relationship will be Lakshmi. So in general, praying to the goddess, the Shakti, is always very positive for relationships. There are goddesses who are more associated with relationships, like Lalita, Parvati, Uma, etc. But it doesn't need to be so. You can still pray to the goddess for relationships. That's what Dr. Pillai said, yes. Also for enlightenment. So don't limit yourself. If you love Goddess Lakshmi so much and you want to pray for anything else, that's fine. As long as you have a good relationship and connection with that archetype, right? There are usually 1 or 2 archetypes we love the most. because that's how we are. We're selective, but I love them. I mean, I don't know an archetype that I don't like. I can't think of one, but I think I like them all. I love them all. But of course, I have my favorites. So I'll just pray to Goddess Lakshmi for everything, including relationships, enlightenment. Typically, if you pray to Lord Shiva for enlightenment, it's a little bit easier to conceive that, right? Because you have to do what for enlightenment? Let go of the world, let go of the material. But it doesn't need. Lord Shiva can also give you money, but typically Vishnu, the consort of Goddess Lakshmi, does. All right, so that's another way to make the shift. Can be a small shift, but you'll see the results because your thoughts will be different. You yourself would be different. So I've been told there are no more questions. So I'm going to wrap up this call. And I hope you can use these steps. You can go through the video to read the steps. Remember that the planets have a huge role with our thoughts. Also your ancestors. So Shreem Brzee in the throat. If you're familiar with Dr. Pillai's teachings, you can also do the Tarpanam for the ancestors before you start your Shreem Brzee practice. That's very powerful. I'll do something else for karma removal. I always start with Ganesha, and I have Ganesha everywhere. So when I say environment, I mean it. It's really, it's what you bring into your environment. Oh, I don't see. Here we go. Little Ganesha. Stefan S. Yes. Can relationships to people with negative or toxic minds undermine manifestation? Well, sometimes we don't have a choice, right? Unless we want to get out of the relationships, and sometimes we can't, we don't want to. Or just don't discuss your goals maybe with that person until they're manifested, unless you need their help. Maybe that's what I do with people who are different and they think differently than I do. Hope does this help? Hopefully. Okay, so, and also when we keep putting our fingers on someone else saying he's horrible, she's horrible, I am different. Usually there's something we don't want to see about ourselves because we're putting all the negativity on them. So yeah, I chose this relationship. It's very negative for me, but I chose that relationship. There's something in me that has done that. So let's remove the focus from the other person and focus on what we want to do. We can turn into light that way. I know it's not easy, but we can do it. All right. Thank you so much for joining live, and see you soon. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon of this day and pray to the sun god.
Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem